The following dysfunctional gaming program was filmed in front of a live Twitch audience. Seven.
Hey, how's it going? What's happening? We're back again at Dysfunctional Gaming's talking D&D. We are going to be talking this week about the deck of many things. I am Thundercat0420. Over there is GM Patch Nasty.
Hello. That's me. I have a mustache.
But before we talk about the deck of many things, what did we talk about last week?
Etiquette, being a good player.
Yeah, that's what we
Right?
talked about. Yes.
That was last week.
Yes.
Okay, it's been a crazy week.
Last week was being a good player. If you want to check that out, we have that on all podcast forums. You can see us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor.fm. And also, if you want to watch the replay of the video in a little bit of a shortened format, you can check us out on YouTube as well. All of those things can be found on our Linktree / Dysfunctional Gaming or in the chat !links. So I guess on to the topic.
Yes! Chaos! Yes! Utter chaos. If you want to derail a campaign and literally have no idea what could happen, introduce the deck of many things into your game. If you are a new DM, don't do that. Don't listen to what I am saying to put that into your game. It will be the biggest curveball that you throw at yourself, because you don't know what they pull unless you stack the deck, which is kind of a little bit DM trickery. However, I'm also a fan of chaos, so I would not do that.
So it says, let me give the definition, not definition, but the explanation in the DMG.
Give it to me in an announcer voice.
What the exact deck of many things in an announcer voice?
Yes.
The deck of many things. Wondrous item. Major, legendary. Usually found in a box or pouch. This deck contains a number of cards made of ivory or vellum. Most, 75%, of these decks have only 13 cards, but the rest have 22. Before you draw a card, you must declare how many cards you intend to draw and then draw them randomly. You can use an altered deck of playing cards to simulate the deck. Any cards drawn in excess to this number have no effect. Otherwise, as soon as you draw a card from this deck, its magic takes effect. You must draw each card no more than 1 hour after the previous draw. If you fail to draw the chosen number, the remaining number of cards fly from the deck on their own and take all effect at once. Once a card is drawn, it fades from existence. Unless the card is the Fool or the Jester, the card reappears in the deck, making it possible to draw the same card twice.
Which, once we get into the definitions of these cards, you will see are terrible, terrible things. I do believe for our Patreon subscribers, later on you will see the outline, and Thundercat has described it so perfectly: the good, the bad, and the dead. Literally, that is the three things that are the possibilities out of these possible 13 or 22 cards. You could have something good happen, you could have something bad happen, or you could potentially be dead. Like, not...
Or something else around you is dead. Or, yeah.
Or something, or the campaign goes off the rails completely. So, do we...
That's something I put that's something I put into our outline just because I was like, this is the stuff we want to talk about. So we were going to talk about the good, the bad, and the dead, because that's what I figured would happen with these cards.
Mm-hmm. You've drawn from the deck, so
yeah,
you know you can die from that
before deck. We dive into the cards themselves, what would you do with the deck? Would you give them the 22 or would you give them the 13?
I gave you 22. I gave you all the cards.
Yeah, was it just I want you to have all of them, or did you roll to see if it happened?
I know. I wanted to be like, well, here's a deck of many things. This is a nuke. Let's see what
Okay,
happens.
cool. That's what I figured, and that's how
Yeah.
I would do it if I had it. Um, but as a DM, you can remember that like you can take some of these rules into effect that can save your game. So if you want to try to do the 75%, roll that percentage and hope that they don't get over. You don't have to give them all 22. Then you can kind of stack the deck the way you want to, even though it's random. You can kind of give them the 13 cards in that deck.
There's a dirty DM trick that I saw that Colville used. If you don't know who Matt Colville is, go check out him on YouTube
Yeah,
or
he's
him
an
on DM's Guild.
amazing DM like help. He does a
Yeah.
great job with like helping you learn the game.
He did a whole thing on Kickstarter about strongholds, so that was kind of neat. The big thing that he did is he did one on the deck of many things, and he actually had a physical prop. But when he closed the box, there was a card on top, so he knew what card they were going to draw as soon as they pulled the card out, the first card. So I was like, well, that's a neat, dirty little trick. I like it, but I
Well,
don't.
as a DM, you're supposed to kind of know what's
I ran
gonna
beholder
happen. You
fights.
know,
I know what I
you
potentially can
yeah,
do.
you
but
know what I mean. So if you can kind of give yourself a step up for maybe something you're doing live, because it wasn't a live event. Is that what he's talking
Um,
about?
No,
Okay.
this was at the table. This was
Oh,
literally
okay.
at
This
his
is him
table
just
for his
DMing.
players.
I mean, at
Yep.
least he's
I
ahead
was
of the
like,
game for the start of the deck.
exactly. So he knows if they just pull one card, if
Yeah.
the play, because he's DMing for players who know what that is, and you
Yeah.
go, oh, if you hand that to novice players, they don't know. Oh,
Right.
this looks like a box of playing cards. Let's see what they have, and I'd like to pull out all the cards. Okay, well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But
That's the way to do it, I think.
mhm.
I like that idea. Yeah. So, I mean, would you set it up if you had that deck of cards and put the 13 in, and only put 13 in that you knew
Would I stack
were going to
it?
be
Yeah,
in there?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I've debated on giving people the deck of many things, learning from the error of my ways of not knowing what was in there and having everything, and then having the very first fucking card be the death card. I went, okay, well, lesson learned.
Yeah.
Won't
I
gonna do, not
think
gonna.
I think you played it really well. You did a good job with it. As a DM, you have to kind of roll with the punches. We've talked about that as improv.
Oh yeah,
I think the deck of many things is something that you need to try once or be a part of once. But if you're gonna DM it, know what the cards do, because then at that point they can pull any card and you are aware of the cards in there. You still know what can happen. I mean, you could create some sort of like table to help out with when they pull cards. You could have, okay, this is when they pull this card, this stuff could happen. When they pull this card, this stuff could happen. If you want to get that deep into
I
your
have a PDF that's just the deck of many things. I literally, it's just the deck, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna study this because then I will know all the terrible possible shit that could happen to me, or a couple good things.
Okay. So we've talked about it a little bit here. Let's talk about the cards now, and we'll bring up a card and kind of figure out from there, I guess.
All right.
So, do we want to start with
Let's
the
start with
top?
something good.
Or yeah, okay.
Let's start with actually. You know what? Let's start with something bad because the first one that alphabetically speaking is called balance, which isn't terrible. It's not good. It's the balance card. Your mind suffers a retching alteration, causing your alignment to change. Lawful becomes chaotic. Good becomes evil, and vice versa. If you are true neutral or unaligned, this card has no effect on you. Not great. Not terrible, but still bad. If you have a lawful good paladin who wants to pull a card from the deck and pulls out the balance card, you now have a chaotic evil paladin. As a DM, I'd probably be like, okay, this will be a fun slow burn until he deserts you and you guys get attacked by wolves in the middle of the night, and let's see what happens there. Because he's gonna need a new character, because this paladin is no longer his. You are now my toy. I'm gonna let you have fun a little bit, and then I'm gonna take it away. Get ready to have a new character, because chaotic evil in a good party, unless I trust you and you're seasoned, I'm probably not gonna allow it. It's a real hard thing to pull off. Unless you're like Edward Nigma levels of crazy, then it might be able. Because then you're just a sociopath, as opposed to a chaotically evil paladin of vengeance.
That's obviously not. That's way too big. I'm trying to get the picture of the balance card up there, but it's so big I have to like resize it.
How big is it?
Look at this fucking screen.
Jesus.
Transform. Stretch to fit to screen. There we go.
Bloop. Okay. And then you can crop it from there.
There, it's right between us. Actually, let me do this. All right, keep talking about another card.
More cards?
Yeah.
What else? What other cards? There's Comet on that one, right?
Yeah, Comet's next.
Comet is okay, it's a good card. If you single-handedly defeat the next hostile monster or group of monsters you encounter, you can gain experience points enough to gain 1 level. Otherwise, this card has no effect. So it's a I don't want to say free level up, because you do have to slay the encounter. If you pull that card before you fight some bandits, good play. If you pull that card before you fight an adult dragon, taller order. Hopefully you got your friends there. I guess. But deceptively good, because it's false hope. Because if you don't defeat it, then you get nothing. If you run away from said dragon, moot. But the card goes back in the deck, so you might be able to pull it again unless you pull something.
And you gain enough experience to gain a level. That's pretty important.
It's yes, but if you beat them single-handedly. That's the key word, is single-handedly defeat them. Now I have a question for you, Thundercat.
You look at your friends and go, let's go back to the goblins over there.
Yep. No, that wouldn't work. I'd be trying to push it too hard. Barondir did punch a dragon to death, but it wasn't single-handedly.
It was
Other
not.
people had to hand it. No. What else is so it's going in alphabetical order. Oh shit.
Let's look at the next one. Next card.
Don John.
Don John.
So this is a terrible card. Could you describe for our audio listeners what it looks like? This card, if you pull it from a playing card deck, is the Ace of Spades.
You're walking up a stairway to a door it's like a gated hallway, a portcullis almost. And there's all chains running up the wall, like railings almost to hold on to, it looks like. And you can't see anything beyond the door.
You disappear and become entombed in a state of suspended animation in an extra-dimensional space. Everything you are wearing and carrying stays behind in the space you occupied when you disappeared. So you are naked and alone. You remain imprisoned until you are found and removed from the sphere. Here's the kicker. No matter what level you are, you cannot be located by divination magic, but a wish spell can reveal the location of your prison. So,
the highest form of magic is the only way to be found.
The question to you, Mr. DM, the wish is one of those spells. If you don't use it the set ways, bad shit happens.
Correct.
So that potential wish spell to find your friend could potentially be the bad thing that happens, and you never cast wish again. Would you? Because you can't use the magic. I'm looking at it. I'm like,
So
yeah, I would do
so
that.
I think here's what would go down in my mind as a player, and if this happened to a teammate, if it was early levels, probably never going to see that character again. Because I don't think there's been enough time with that character to be a part, like to be like a family member rather than a party member. Because I feel like there's so much adventuring that turns your party together into a group of like brothers and sisters rather than just another person you're adventuring with. Early levels. Well, the dwarf died. The dwarf's gone. Never saw him again. Oh well. Like
Free stuff.
Yep. Late levels. That's the best time when you'd probably be part of like going after and finding your friend.
Fucking grog.
Yeah, like ninth level magic you have to work up to. You could probably do that. Oh.
17th level. Yep. It's 17th level. So if you're up to the 17th level, which is the basically almost god tier, you have your 9th level spells. But the question I'm asking you is, if you were to wish to find this person, as a DM, would you make the ruling of, well, you can't use divination magic? I will tell you that knowing how wish works, you could potentially never cast wish.
Yeah,
again.
you just have to ask me you have to say it the way I want to hear it.
I mean, either way, no matter what you say, you were there's.
Oh yeah, you still have to roll for it. You're still rolling for it.
You still have to roll for it. Okay, perfect. We're on the
Yep.
same page.
It's not. Yeah, there's no magic that can find it other than a wish spell, and you need to ask where he is the right way. If you don't ask the right way, it's still.
Where is this person's prison?
Yeah.
What plane and where is it located?
Where is this person imprisoned?
Yep.
Don't get if you say too many words, it starts messing up.
It's one of those things where if you draw 5 cards and that's the second card, the other 3 fly out. Those other 3 still fly out and do what they do and take effect.
That's true. Yep.
So potentially those other 3 cards that you were going to draw could still be terrible for the rest of your party. So that is a terrible card. Absolutely campaign breaking potentially card. Would you like to take a card?
Sure. I guess I'm next. It's Uriel.
Yep. So let me scroll down and describe this one for. So you clearly can see a Medusa on there with a head of snakes. She's got a bow and what looks like Leia bikini armor going on. And as I stare into this card, something not terrible and not good is going to happen. It's bad. This is a bad card.
Uriel. The card's Medusa-like visage curses you. You take a -2 penalty on saving throws while cursed in this way.
Not terrible, but not great.
Only a god or the magic of the fates card can end this curse. So there's a reason to pull more cards.
Yep, right there. That's a shitty card. That's a real shitty card because then you're cursed and every saving throw is a -2. That hurts.
Oof.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And then the only way to save it, to get uncursed, is a fucking god or the next card, which is, I'm not gonna say it's good. This is a bad card. This is a bad card. Depending on the DM, this is a bad card. The visage on this card.
Yeah, the picture is 3 women, all in robes. One of them has her hair flowing out, like with wind behind it. The second one, like just beside her, is wearing like a towel around her head or so, some sort of cloth. And the third one has a hood over, and they're all holding as it goes across a twine or rope, and I'm guessing it's some sort of timeline or some sort of like change, something that will cause change. And one of them is taking scissors and cutting said string/line that goes across the card.
For the mythology buffs out there, yes, these are the Fates. These are the three ugly ladies from the Disney Hercules. These are the three women who control the universe, essentially, in Greek mythology. So this card, Reality's Fabric, unravels and spins anew. Sounds cool, allowing you to avoid or erase one event as if it never happened. You can use the card's magic as soon as you draw the card or at any other time before you die. That sounds like a good card. It really does.
What happens when
However,
you do it? Is there something else that goes with it? Or is that the end of the...
That's it. That's the end of the blurb.
Oh.
Yeah. But the issue is, I'm a DM who reads comics.
Erasing something could erase
if you save your mom,
other things.
You change the timeline and you create this paradox without saying the words. It's not good. It's not a good card because depending on the DM, you are handing them something they can tweak and make completely different and see what happens. What could we never fought that dragon. Like that dragon never attacked this town. Okay. It didn't happen. What other town did that dragon attack? What other group of adventurers are going to rise up and become, are they the good type or are they evil? Let me twirl my mustache as I mull this over in my brain. Yeah, they're probably evil. So I've introduced a completely different storyline to my characters because they wanted to save their town.
I'm going to erase the city that my mom lived in from being destroyed, so she comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well that city wasn't destroyed. Why wasn't it destroyed? Where'd the part where
terrible thing is going to happen to that city
where
now?
did that army that destroyed that town go?
Yep.
They went a different way? Okay, so this other city is destroyed that had your brother in it. Like
that is a loaded gun card. It's a false good.
Now we're here and you go back to this town to see your brother and that town's destroyed that you had your village that you were living in at that time or whatever. Like
mm-hmm. It's all about perspective at that point. It's really one of those things like that card is a DM's flex. That's a DM flex card because if you pulled the Fates, cool.
Yeah. Let me know when you want to use it. Yeah.
Tell me what you do. Okay. It happens. And then
all right. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So the next one, allow me to because I don't want to because this is one of my favorite cards for players to draw.
Do you want me to? I'll read it. You tell me what it looks like.
So you see these shroud of flames with a horned visage with these pointy ears. Clearly looks like some sort of devil is erupting from the flames card. This is a terrible card. This is the card that you don't want to pull as a player, and as a DM, you kind of smile and go, okay.
I'm going to do it in my best evil voice.
Demonic voice, yes, please.
The powerful devil becomes your enemy. The devil seeks your ruin and plagues your life, savoring your suffering before attempting to slay you. The enmity lasts until either you or the devil dies.
Now tell him what the question of enmity is. Tell him all about what enmity is.
Enmity? I'm gonna say that this enmity is your devil. You can pick whichever devil you want. It doesn't tell you what devil to pick. And as a DM, take a peek through the devils. Go ahead, take a peek through the devils, and if you haven't, pick up Out of the Abyss, because those are also demons and devils. There are some
Yes.
very, very mean ones.
And
there are some very, very lesser ones.
and not even for the devils and all that stuff. Like, the books are super cool. Like, you can get really cool books. They have cool, like, that's the special edition one.
That's the foil one.
Yeah, and this is the regular one, but like, they're so cool. They got cool pictures in them. You ever need
Big thing.
help thinking about like an NPC? Oh, look, there's a kobold.
There's an NPC right there.
Yeah, there's a gnome. There's a tiefling. Like, that's a vampire tiefling. Okay, let's go.
The thing to remember about this card, it's thank you, Fuzzrab, for the gifted sub to Vandal.
And a ghost came in.
The room with ghost shit.
Woo!
Jesus.
The big thing about the devil.
Hold on.
Okay. Oh, it's still going?
He's still. Fuzzrab, thank you for gifting that.
Okay.
I hope you're feeling better, bud.
Yes, man.
Fandom starts
How are you?
here. I love you, brother.
So it not only does it want to kill you, it seeks your ruin and plagues your life. So not only does it piss you off, it pisses off everybody you know. I think that's the best part about the card, because it's like, oh, I'm plotting in methodical. This devil would be plotting methodical. They're super intelligent. I would certainly long play this, and you would be going now. Thanks. Love y'all. Oh, love you too, Fuzzy.
Thanks, buddy. Have a good night.
Yeah, no, that's one of those ones where it's a slow play. Like, you could introduce the deck of many things. Like, let's say they're at a gambling event and then have someone pull the top card and that be the card. You could write a 1 to 7 campaign based off of that card. It's a terrible card for a player to draw another one of those DM flex cards, because then you have a story. You have a story that this card has given you, and you can write this devil as something. It could be a rock shasa that goes from town to town selling these little peddling wares, and it just so happens that most of the towns that you stay in several days later, there are things that are missing, things that are stolen, and you're getting blamed. That's where your ruin comes into play. Like, there are so many things you could do with that card, but I could gush about the devil card or the Holiness card
All right.
all night.
Next
this
up
one's
is
boring.
the Fool card.
Yeah, this one. This is a bad card. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's fucking. You lose 10,000 XP. Discard this card and draw from the deck again, counting both draws as one of your declared draws. If you lose that much XP that would cause you to lose a level, you just instead lose that amount that leaves you with just enough XP to keep your level. So that's why it's not terrible, because you don't go down the levels. It's also bad because you lose all your XP. If your DM is doing milestone, it's not that bad.
Unless
But
they remember that stuff because of milestone. Because I would still. You're
I would
still
still
not
hold
gonna. You're not gonna level up the same time everybody else does.
everyone else levels up, but you.
Yep.
The thing that's real bad about that card is you draw again. You pull another card. So you've pulled the card, and then it disappears because
pull another
it
one.
does not go back into the deck.
Yes.
That one is gone. Once it's pulled, it's gone forever. So maybe you've gotten a deck that has 21 cards because someone's already pulled the full.
True. And they were like, "I'm never pulling another card again."
Yeah, it's just as bad in Baldur's Gate. It's fun. It's a fun item. Use it once. Make a save. You can't do that in D&D.
All right. Next up.
Boring.
All right. What is it? What's it called? I'll read it.
It's called the Gem.
The Gem.
It's a picture of gems. They're pretty pictures. There's
It's
a
just
picture
a
of a
big
diamond.
gem.
It's yep. What do you get?
All right, let me read it.
Fucking, it's boring. It's a boring
Gem.
card. It's good.
25 pieces of jewelry worth 2,000 gold pieces each, or 50 gems worth 1,000 gold pieces each appear at your feet.
Neat.
Early game, pretty fucking awesome.
Actually, I'm gonna say this right now. Any game, if it's diamonds, it's great. It's a great card to get if your DM wants to give you diamonds and not have to fucking have you search for them.
I wouldn't give you diamonds. I'd give you mixed gems. There'd probably be like some diamonds in there.
How much is it for a resurrection spell?
I think it's
Like 2,000?
no, it's more than resurrection. That's the not true resurrection,
Well,
but resurrection.
I'm trying to think. Like I know there's a you're
Revivify's
not dead for
like
2,000.
50 or like
Okay.
for 50 gold piece or something. I don't know. I don't remember.
Anyway,
But-
that's if you give them 25 pieces of jewelry that have diamonds in them, that's their $2,000. Their 2,000 gold pieces worth of diamonds. Boom,
Right.
done. Because they're probably gonna pull a card that'll kill them.
But I don't make it that easy sometimes.
Mm-mm.
D&D has consequences. You learn from your mistakes. I'm not going to give you the amount of money to resurrect someone because they were dumb and pulled more cards from the deck. When you had a good card, you just stop. But like I said, early game, early levels, 1,000 gold pieces worth of gems is pretty substantial.
I mean, 1,000 gold pieces. That's room and board for a long time.
That's for months at a
Yep.
tavern. Or you could probably buy
A tab.
like a house or a land to buy to
Yep.
build a guild or something.
There's So if you get a good card as a player, would you as a DM make it come back to bite them later? That's one of those cards that I wouldn't. That is a card I'm not going to be like, well, the gems were stolen. That one's not going to come back.
You can't really, as a DM, you can't go after players for getting good cards.
There's a couple of cards that are good that
Leave things open.
yes.
So if someone's getting gold pieces for free, that's not a big deal. The losing 10,000 XP, that's not good, but it's not bad. It's not a bad card either because you're not really...
The devil, the flames card.
The flames
That
card,
one
that's
will-
one,
it's
but that's a bad
terrible
card. Yeah.
That's a shit card.
Yeah, so that one's always going to come back to get them. But, like, yeah, the fates, you leave something open by changing fates, basically.
Yep.
Um,
If you change something, what happens instead? That's the card where I'm going, oh, you've done something kind of good, but
you changed the fates. You changed
the timeline.
Yeah, you changed things.
You've changed things like that. It's like if you were to go back in life and say you never started smoking cigarettes. Like if I went back and said I never started smoking cigarettes, I would think about that and be like, well, I never would have met all those people smoking butts on the trail in high school. I never would have had those 5 minutes outside and got to know more people where I work. It's kind of one of those trickle down things where I might not be as sociable as I am now because of smoking. Granted, I've kicked that fucking habit and now I'm on digital as opposed to analog, but you have to like kind of think about consequences of not doing one thing. Dominoes do fall. They don't just hang out there all time.
Yep. People would be different if you change things.
Mhm.
I mean, like the Comet one is a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. I wouldn't take it out on the player for getting a good card.
Nope. Just the wording in comment says if you single-handedly defeat the next monster.
Some DMs I feel like are probably out to get their players more than not. I've been a part of a bunch of like DM Facebook groups and stuff, trying to like
Some of them
just
are vindictive.
just trying to see like what other people are doing if something happened. Like people put questions in there, and then there's people in there like, "Oh, I'd put this level character up against monster up against them and show them what's up." And I was like, that's not That's not fun. So I'm not going to be vindictive if someone gets a good card because they got a good card and I was expecting the worst out of the deck of many things. That's not how you should be
The only
looking.
time
You shouldn't be looking
ever-
at the game like that.
The only time if you were to ever do that would be to teach your party one lesson, and that's run. If throw something big at them, and if you got smart players,
Yes.
they'll
But
run.
that's not because you're being vindictive. That's because you
No.
want them to understand that the game's got consequences, and that's different. But like if say you killed you went through my vampire lair and I got mad because you guys made it so easy because you're smart players, I wouldn't just be like, okay, fine. As you're walking out of the lair, there's a terrace there, suckers. Like
Exactly.
dude.
Exactly, D. Well, surely as a DM, it's about making the game fun. Because see, the thing is to remember as a DM, if your players aren't having fun, I'm not having fun.
Yep. It's a shared story. The DM just guides you through it.
There are times when I make puzzles and like the players are like frustrated, and it's like, well,
That's not my fault.
Sorry.
I try to
I'll-
make easy puzzles and then I'll try to give you hints if you're not getting it.
I'll usually be like, make this type of roll, and then I'll start to give you some elements of a puzzle because that's
Yep.
your brain working after staring at this puzzle as in character.
Exactly. There's ways to go around to get around things that make people mad. There's ways to work together, but let's get back to the deck of many things. Although that was a good
so we're
tangent.
gonna pull another card.
And Fuzzrab, thank you for the question.
We're gonna pull the idiot card.
All right, let me pull up
It's,
the picture here.
This one is a bad card. This is a bad card because it incentivizes stupidity and it makes you stupid. Do we have
Right.
it pulled up?
We do. It looks like a giant that has a baby's head.
Thank
It has a big pointy hat, his tooth sticking out, drooling, and he's got his hands kind of like this.
So what it does is you would roll a d4 and add 1 to it to a minimum score of 1. And you would reduce your intelligence by that. So if you
Oof.
rolled a 4 plus 1 is 5.
Yikes.
It's not bad for your wizard, but your low intelligence
Your
barbarian,
Barbarian.
he now has an intelligence of 3, and there's another footer to this card. You can draw 1 additional card beyond your declared draws. So, you could potentially...
Draw it again.
Wow, I just broke my brain. You could draw it again, or you could draw the fates. And if you were to make the fates so you never drew the idiot card, would you have drawn the fates card in the first place? I'm sorry, I got derailed. I broke myself.
Now you're breaking yourself.
I broke my own timeline in my head.
Oh my goodness.
Shit.
Or you could pick a different card that gives you intelligence. I don't know. I don't know if there is one yet. We have to move on and see.
No, DD is broken.
Daddy.
Daddy, no.
Daddy, help.
Well, I mean, your next draw could be a good card that gets pulled from the deck if it's there.
Okay, Jester is up next. Tell me what it looks like.
It looks like scroll. You see a what looks like a Fey Wild Court jester wearing these greens and browns, holding a skull, wearing a very ominous looking mask, kind of dancing around with bells on, adorned just about everywhere. The skull's even got a little headband with a couple of bells on it.
With this card, you gain 10,000 XP. Or
Jesus.
you can draw 2 additional cards beyond your declared draws.
Smart players will say no.
And just take the 10,000
New players,
XP.
I would. Yep, I will take the level up. If it's low level, I will take the push. If it's high level, if it's milestone, remember I level up before everybody else.
Yep.
It's not a bad card. It's a good card. That is one of those cards where it's like
Yeah, just good.
nothing.
Can't do anything
it's
about
good.
it. Or they
Unless
or they decide to take 2 more cards.
That, if you want to go ahead and take the gun and then empty all the bullets out of it and take 2 more and put it back in there and then spin the chamber and play Russian roulette again, that's on you. The DM, I'm going to say, okay, sure, you can do that. I would love to see you draw 2 more cards. Please do so. And then sit back and smile. Because that's not me being vindictive. That's them being dumb.
Okay.
And, well, that's them making a mistake to learn. As DMs do.
All right, up next, we have the key. It is a card that has a key on it, and there's a rope, or it looks like a tassel, some sort of tassel that's connected to it.
Yep. A rare or rarer magic weapon with which you are proficient with appears in your hands. The DM chooses the weapon. Once again, potentially a good card. Potentially. Good card. Potentially.
Yeah.
Depending on your DM, you could give them a sentient weapon or a cursed weapon.
Yeah, but most likely a good card.
Most likely a good card.
Once again, as a DM and you pull a good card of a deck of many things, I'm probably just going to be like, okay, you deserve this. Good luck.
You got lucky.
Give them a little applause.
If I give a cursed item on a good pull, it's a silly curse. It's like
every
time you hit a natural 20, the belt on the buckle on your belt breaks. Because that is funny to me.
When you hit someone, it makes a boink sound now.
The sword is squeaky. It makes a squeaky noise.
Squeak. Like a horn.
Like it's a boffer hammer.
Yeah.
You get this strange looking yellow hammer with a pink and blue end on it.
Two different ends. They squeak 2 different ways.
Oh.
I mean, it is a rare weapon and does an extra D6 of lightning damage. I don't know.
Yep, it's a Thor hammer. You throw it and it comes back.
And it goes.
Once again, not a bad card. Potentially a DM if they are vindictive or if they want you to go meet an NPC, might curse the weapon just so you go to a clergyman to get it uncursed, and then you have a cool new weapon, and then possibly the lore for the next part of the story, so you forget about the fucking cards I gave you.
What's the next one?
The next card is called the Knight card. This is one of those cards that gives you a person. This is one of the cards that newer DMs you might want to take out. It's got a picture of a knight riding a horse on it. There, he's got a like literally looks like a jouster from A Knight's Tale, except with yes, it's actually, if you look closely, you can see the scars. So it is Heath Ledger.
It is. With this card, you gain the service of a 4th level fighter who appears in a space you choose within 30 feet of you. The fighter is of the same race as you and serves you loyally until death. Believing the fates have drawn him or her to you, you control this character. So basically, you have a second character now.
You have a ranger pet that's a person.
Is it an NPC?
It is an NPC.
Okay, so the DM controls what he says?
I would control what he says, but I would make the player control them in battle. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to mini DMing. This is how you get a player to start learning how to DM real quick. Give him a 4th level fighter. You control him in the fight. Okay. Yeah. Now I can set up little combos.
Yeah. Initiative bonuses, and then get used to doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a couple more minions for that.
So like a familiar, but more of a bear shape. It's a person. You literally
make a character.
So think about it like this, Fuzz. Let's say Fuzzrab, the D&D player, pulled that card. You could potentially get a level 4 Minsk to be your buddy from the deck of many things.
Yeah, or
he is a fighter, and that was immediately.
Or you could make it an arcane guy that shoots. He's a magic fighter.
Yep.
A 4th level fighter. You can make any of the subclasses.
There's a
you
lot
have a champion.
of them now, as I've read.
Yeah. So.
Okay. This is a bad card. This next card, I don't care what anybody, any player, any DM says, this is a fucking terrible card. This is the Moon card. This is bad.
All right.
Bad. It's a picture of the moon.
It's a picture of a moon. It looks like it's on a pie plate. And he's looking down with the bad. He's got a face on the moon, and he doesn't look very happy. He's got a very pointy nose.
You are granted the ability to cast the wish spell 1d3 times. It is a terrible card. Terrible card to the two Minsky me now. It's a terrible card. Giving players it whenever you pull it, if you give a barbarian a wish spell, they still adhere to the rules of the wish spell. I don't care who DMs.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't even know the downfalls of the wish spell. And the thing is, as a DM, I wouldn't even tell you.
I would not tell the barbarian either unless he asked like the magic caster in the group.
I would say he feels a little different. I would say you feel a little different. You feel like almost like a little like staticky, like you just like kind of walked across a carpet and now you got a balloon to your head.
Yeah.
But other than that, I wouldn't say anything.
You got a
And
jolt
then
of
see what
energy.
happens.
You have like a jolt of energy.
Oh man, I wish I had a sandwich. Boop. What? Boom. That's
Roll
But-
roll me
yeah.
roll
Roll
to
me
see
a
if you-
constitution.
yeah, whatever
roll
the
a
check is.
percentage dice, please. No, I would allow that because
Oh, that's a
I would use that.
conjuration spell.
That's a conjure food and water. I'd be like that. He's stupid, but he did use a spell.
I'd allow it.
I'd allow it. But it depends on the DM. I mean, unless they figure out, like, if the players go into this knowing nothing of the deck of many things and they pull the moon card, I'm not going to say a word because in character, they know nothing of what this will do. And then they will have to go and ask someone. And then that person will say, oh, well, this is what that does. And then you'll see the player and the player character eyes light up at the same time, go, I'm so powerful. Hopefully.
What's next?
The Rogue. This is a card that has the visage of stuff that's just out of here. A man in a hooded cloak with shoulder pads that have studded leather, carrying a dagger, or what you might call in D&D lore, your atypical rogue.
All right. Let me get that off the screen. A rogue card. A non-player character of the DM's choice becomes hostile towards you. The identity of your new enemy isn't known until the NPC or someone else reveals it. Nothing less than a wish spell or divine intervention can end the NPC's hostility towards you. Now, when I read that, is it an NPC that they know already?
Who knows?
Okay. That's what I was wondering. Because they don't know who
It
the
could be.
NPC... Okay.
It could be. Until something, I mean,
It'd
you
be
could
funny
piss
if
off-
like they went back to town and they were like, "Oh, I gotta go return the horse to the stables that we rented," and the stable boy is like, "Fuck you, you're fucking fuck
Get
you,"
outta
and he
here.
pulls out his
You stole
fucking
these.
yeah, he pulls out his sword. He chases you out or whatever.
A powerful dragon ally that the players had
Yep.
is now
Depending on the
like,
level, it's just be fun to like really fuck with them in the early stages of the
they're
game.
cool. It is. It's like that. They're so open to interpretation. So that one, another one is a DM flex. You could potentially make a whole campaign out of them pulling that one card after they slay a dragon, return home, and it turns out, King Dickhead hates them.
Yeah.
It couldn't be a team member because it has to be an NPC. It's someone that the party doesn't control.
Yeah, someone the DM controls. It could be that 4th level fighter that they just got from the knight
Mm-hmm.
card.
Mm-hmm. All right. I will describe the next one because I don't want to describe this card because I've had players pull this card and it's a fantastic card. This is the sword. This is the card called Ruin. It is a picture of a sword broken into segments and crossed over itself. This is a terrible card to pull as a player, but one of those cards that you read as a DM and you giggle with your little evil DM giggle as you read its description. Go on, Thundercat.
Ruin. All forms of wealth that you carry on or own other than magic items are lost to you. Portable property vanishes. Businesses, buildings, and land you own are lost in a way that alters reality the least. Any documentation that proves you should own something lost to this card also disappears.
So you have 0.
You've become
You have
nothing.
nothing. You get nothing, sir. Good day. I said good day, sir. So potentially, the wombo combo that players could draw if they say that I want to draw 2 cards is if you draw the rogue card and then you draw the ruin card. That is a story. I would go, okay. Everything you have on you vanishes.
I mean, you could create your campaign off of those 2 cards, being like a well-known friend of a friend of yours, like the party, a party member, pulled these 2 cards and hasn't been seen since, and that could be the campaign, going to find that guy and maybe figuring out where that deck of many things is that he pulled the cards from. There you go. There's your campaign. You just started a campaign writing.
You made a campaign about the deck of many things, as opposed to making a game within the deck of many things. So kudos to you, friend. Kudos to you. Thundercat, could you describe the next card for me? Because this is another one of those. As a player, this is the card that potentially will kill you. If your DM is inexperienced and has a bunch of story prep for your character, you might potentially have plot armor.
We've talked about the good, the bad, and the dead. This is one of the dead. So you pull the card. It's called Skull. There is a skeleton in a black cloak with a large gold medallion holding the cloak around his neck. And he has a sweet red Rambo bandana.
As you stare into this visage of this card, you begin to see the hand start to slowly press on the vellum that is trapping it in this ink as it slowly reach out as you see an avatar of death, a ghostly humanoid skeleton clad in tattered black robe and carrying a spectral scythe. It appears in a space of my choice within 10 feet of you and attacks you. The avatar fights until you die, or it drops to 0 HP, whereupon it disappears. Here's the kicker, though. If anyone tries to help you, the helper summons its own avatar of death. A creature slain by an avatar of death cannot be restored to life. Now, you think an avatar of death is not that bad. It's got an AC of 20. So it's real hard to hit. Its HP is determined by who pulls the card. It has half the hit point maximum of its summoner. So a wizard that summons the avatar of death. That's not that bad. Barbarian that summons the avatar of death. It's gonna be a tank. The last thing, it can move at 60 feet. And the Avatar of Death has one action called the Reaping Scythe. The Avatar sweeps its spectral scythe through a creature within 5 feet of it, dealing 7 slashing damage plus 4 necrotic damage. Notice how I didn't say pluses to hit. It doesn't roll to hit. It hits you. You take it. There is nothing.
11 damage every time.
11 damage. If I didn't roll. You take 11 damage every time I swing my scythe. You cannot hurt me with necrotic or poison damage. You cannot frighten me, charm me, paralyze me, petrify me, poison me, or Make me go unconscious. I know where you are at all times with true sight, which is 60 feet. And I know all the languages that you talk. It is a scary. Is a bringer of death. Off the pup. Yes, that was the very first card that was ever pulled when I used the Deck of Many Things on the Sunday homebrew. And the Avatar of Death killed Tacklin. And I had all kinds. His bad guy was the mini boss at the end of the first chapter, and I went, well, fuck. Enjoy your plot armor. I can't have you be like. You were the glue at that point, and then you left in a way that was perfect. I was like, that's perfect. But yes, so far the only player who's ever survived the Avatar of Death that I'm aware of. It was early game. I think you guys were like level 7. It was low.
Yeah, it was right after the. It was right after the arena.
It was right after the arena. It was right. Yeah, it was right after the arena, and just before I threw giants and dragons at you.
Yep, and right after the giants and dragons, I think we met the caretaker as well.
Mm-hmm. That's where you met Doctor Who in his Winnebago.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So terrible card.
Yeah.
Don't pull it.
All right. Next up.
The star card. This is a very good card. This is a player card that you want to pull. It's a picture of what looks like
A big star.
Traditional Christmas star you'd put on the top of your tree.
Yeah, the North Star.
Yep. What does that card do for you, Thundercat?
It's like a rose on a star on a map. I have to scroll back up. Sorry. You increase one of your ability scores by 2. The score can exceed 20, but can exceed 24. Good star. Good star.
Great card. Great card, because that's one of the ways that you can get your ability scores past 20. That's not a book that you have to read for days and get exhaustion points. The next card is, I believe, also another good card. So far we're at 3 good cards in 23 out of 22. 4. I'm sorry. 4 out of 22. So a fifth of these so far have been good.
The sun card, it has a sun on it that has a face, and it looks kind of like either mad at you or smug.
Think, for those of you that have ever grew up in the 90s, think Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, that Smashing Pumpkins album, the moon from Tonight Tonight. But this card gives you 50,000 XP and a wondrous item. And
Yikes.
Yep. That breaks the game in the player's favor. This is one of the few games where the DM goes, well, shit. What can't they do now? Because wondrous items, like the Deck of Many Things, do some crazy altering stuff. Weapons, I mean, you could give someone a luck sword, you could give someone a wishblade, you could give someone, the DM determines it. So you can stack this for the players so it's manageable. Give them, something that thunder and lightning, something that's not super game breaking, but it's a wondrous item, so it's probably going to be a little game breaking.
Dundee's telling it how it is. All right, I'll have to watch that after Fuzz Wrap. All right, next up, Talons. It looks like a dragon claw. Tell me about it.
Every magic item you wear or carry disintegrates. Artifacts in your possession aren't destroyed, but do vanish. That's
Bye.
a shitty card. Bye. It's a bad card. You don't draw that one. It's a DM where you go, huh? Okay. What do you got that's magic items? Oh, you have a bag of holding. That's gone.
Bye.
Gone. Yep.
Next up is Throne. It is a throne. It has a red little cushion on it. There in the back of the throne, there is a moon. It looks like on a large circle with maybe the sun behind it. It kind of maybe looks like.
We're gonna switch some of the terrible cards to plot cards. Like the Flames is a plot card. This is also a plot card. You gain proficiency in the Persuasion skill. Great for a player. And you double your proficiency bonus on checks made with that skill. Even better for the player. In addition, you gain rightful ownership of a small keep somewhere in the world. Neat. But it's currently in the hand of monsters, which you must clear out before you can claim the keep as yours. A little story arc with inside your campaign if they pull that card, because now they have a base of operations if they didn't already have one. Maybe they find a semi-empty deck, and they find a 13-card deck, and that's the first card. Just so happens.
Right. Plot device.
It's a good card. That's a good card for both players and DMs, because then you can fill that keep with a monster or some monsters, like some kobolds and a dragon.
All right. Would you like the next one or the last one?
I would like the last one because Griff.
All right, Vizier, tell me what it looks like.
Oh, well, yes, it looks like Deckard Cain, but I'm more wizardy now. I've got a very long, majestic, flowing white beard and this gnarled wooden staff and these bright blue flowing robes with gold trim.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Vizier, at any time you choose within 1 year of drawing this card, you can ask a question in meditation and mentally receive a truthful answer to that question. Besides information, the answer helps you solve a puzzling problem or other dilemma. In other words, the knowledge comes with wisdom on how to apply it.
Great card. That is a fantastic card. That is another wombo combo for if you pull the throne and the vizier. What just happened with that card I pulled? Because I would tell the player with the vizier card. I would tell them that card is one of the few things where I would go, I would like everyone else to leave the room or check your phone. Those 3 words, check your phone. That's a good card. It's also a great plot device because you can hold on to that and then start throwing some weird shit at the players and see if they burn it. I mean, it's not what I want them to do, but
I mean, it could be a trap. Fuzzrab sounds like a trap unless you... Yeah, it could be a trap, but it's an honest answer. You're going to get a truthful... Depending on what you ask, you're going to get a... You're getting the...
And how to apply it.
And how to do what you need. Yeah, exactly.
Like Speak with Dead, it just tells you, you get 5 questions and it answers it how it would talk to you.
Yeah.
It's a lot better comparative to spells that you can cast, like Zone of Truth, which can fail, or they can just subvert the answer.
No, you're getting an answer.
You're getting
The
an answer.
truthful answer.
However, could you describe this last card to me? It's my favorite card in the whole deck.
It's called Void. As we get to the last card, it's called Void, and it's just a black hole. It's just a void. There's a little light at the end of the tunnel, but I think it's just further and further away the further and further you go in. So, like, it is what it is.
The Void. This black card spells disaster. Your soul is drawn from your body and contained in an object in a place of the DM's choice. One or more powerful beings guard the place. While your soul is trapped in this way, your body is incapacitated. A wish spell can't restore your soul, but the spell reveals the location of the object that holds it. You draw no more cards. That is a fucking terrible card. That card, for those who are listening who have seen Critical Role,
Yep.
Grog.
It's the worst version of Donjon.
Yep. Because you at least leave your stuff. Can a freedom spell cancel it? No. Nope.
Freedom of movement.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
you're in trouble.
That's that DM magic where nothing stops this from happening. Your soul is gone. It's in a gem, and your body goes. Your body stays where it is.
Yeah. Once again, it's like, all right. Well, if we're early on in the campaign, we might not go find this person's soul. But if we're later in the campaign, we're probably gonna go find this person's soul.
Yeah,
So
but that is
could be a plot device.
So once again, there are six, I would say, straight good cards total. Because we were at 5.
I would say
And then we got
5
this-
good cards. The 6th card is like the one of them's good, but it also is like good. It's not like
Yeah, I know. That's why there's this is that old, like, this is this Gary Gygax levels of shit. Like, you can't stop this from happening. It's save or die. And if you pull a card and you pull that card, as a DM, I go, okay, well, let me describe what happens to your character as I hand you a new character sheet. You can hand me
Or-
this one because you're not dead.
bring a new one.
Bring a new one.
Bring a new character.
If you'd like, I will order pizza right now and you can go grab it when it gets here. Yeah, I've had that happen in a campaign and it was kind of on its way out, I felt. And yeah, that ruined the momentum. I had a little thing planned for it, but ended up fizzling out anyway. But yeah, Deck of Many Things, a wondrous item that, as a DM, read it before you give it to your players. If you can stack it and you want to stack it, please stack the deck. So you have some sort of insight, because if you've ever run a Beholder fight, this is the Beholder fight on some game-altering steroids. This will break your game. This will change your game in a way. I won't say good, I won't say bad, it's gonna change it. That being said, certainly try it out.
Yeah,
I love
it's gonna
chaos.
you'll have fun with it. If you don't mind having a chaotic campaign, go for it. Throw it in your campaign. I haven't thrown it in mine yet. But I've thrown in another. I don't need to.
You have me.
Also my campaign's kind of wild right now too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't need the chaos right now. I got enough chaos going on between the gods.
I mean, it's one of those items for Abstract because it is a great item, but not to use it is, unless your GM is just cruel. I'm not cruel to my players.
No, that's not. It's.
I joke around about it.
I mean, if you go and check, like, Matt Mercer used it, like, why wouldn't people try it? It's an item for a reason.
Here's the thing: when Matt Mercer used it, it was one of those things where it was a table of players. I was getting to it. The Deck of Many Things is, as a player, you hope to see it because you don't know what it's going to do. As a DM, it's one of those things that when you were a player, you'd never see it. So this might get what did the DM just hand me? There are 4 new players and I'm the experienced guy. Ooh, that's like handing Patch a wish spell. He's gonna use it. You don't know what's gonna be used for. Hopefully it's altruistic. He's probably not gonna word it right, but I still had good intentions. But yeah, it's one of those things that DMs as a player dreamt about getting just to say, hey, I got the Deck of Many Things. Or as a player, I used the Deck of Many Things and didn't fucking die. I got the fucking Belt of the Dwarven Lords, and I'm level 17 now, and I didn't fucking die.
Right.
It's gonna be a highlight of your campaign. That is one of those things where if your D&D game was a Twitch stream, when you hand the players the Deck of Many Things, get your clip button ready because something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
As Matt Mercer did, Grog, the dumb barbarian, with Travis, the player who knew what it was. Oh, I don't know what this is. I'll chuck it into lava. And then Laura, out of character, Travis. I was like, oh, okay, that's players. That's a wife yell. Something just happened.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say to that because you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're not wrong, Fuzz. Matt Mercer as a player is great. If a good, where was he a player that was great? Liam's one shots.
A couple of the one
Um,
shots. Yeah, he also did that the Deadwood one.
That was really good.
So yeah,
Didn't
next time we're gonna
What
do
are
a
we- well,
we're
hold
doing
on.
it. So I called this one an item week, and I kind of like that. I think we start mixing in homebrew. We start mixing in items. We start mixing in other stuff, trying to kind of keep us refreshed, not doing the same thing every week. So this week was considered an item week, so we skipped over our DMs week, which will be next week instead. And I wrote down large combat. Running large combat, army type level stuff, maybe even tactics, stuff that you can do as a DM to make the combat kind of quicker. I did a few different army tactic campaign stuff sessions for us when we played in Horde of the Dragon Queen, my homebrew stuff. So I thought that would be a good thing we talk about. I don't know, maybe I don't know if you're probably pretty good at figuring out that stuff too, right? I don't know if you run that much though.
I do. I'm sneaky when I run my large combat. I'll tell you about it next week. You got to be here 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, for how I am very clever with how I do my large combat, because I do it in such a way where they don't even realize it. So
Yeah, I got
we'll
you.
get to
I
that.
got you. Zinks, how you doing, bud? We are we're actually at our hour mark, so we're getting ready to call it and raid over to someone. So we welcome you in, but we're doing some outro plugs now. What we got going on this week?
Well, I am typing things into Google to get us ready for other things. So what's going on tomorrow?
We have changed our schedule.
Oh, so what's the new schedule, Thundercat?
We are now streaming on Mondays, Tuesdays,
That was yesterday. That's
and
today.
Saturdays.
That's the end of the week.
Correct. So the next
Because the
day
week starts on Sunday.
the next day we stream will be Saturday night. Will be team night. We're going to be off on Fridays. We'll be off on Fridays. We're going to be back though eventually on Friday soon on Dysfunctional Gaming with something special. We're not going to talk about it yet, but we're going to just keep an eye out in the Discord and on YouTube. We have some stuff going on, but we'll be around Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays.
Yes.
And
And then in the future, Fridays.
in the future Fridays. On Thursday nights, sometimes we're in Discord playing games and streaming. Sometimes we're streaming the baseball game. Sometimes we're streaming wrestling. So if you're around, you can stop in. I know you were last Thursday.
What was on Thursday?
NXT.
That's tonight. That's tomorrow night. No, that's tonight. Tuesday.
I just remember you were when I was streaming. You were watching. Maybe that was Monday night.
That was Sunday night.
Sunday night.
'Cause
Whatever.
that was NXT. It's
There's-
alright.
There's stuff that we'll be doing in Discord. If you want to hang out, come hang out with us in Discord. We'll be around.
Exclamation mark Discord. Beep. Hope it works.
Monday night survival night. We're still doing Green Hell. We went up on the we
What are the odds of that?
we went up at the end of the night the other night to where we needed to go with the grappling hook, and it wasn't the end of the game. So we're like, fuck, we're gonna go back and save and so we're gonna go back and save and figure that out next week. Hopefully, we can get a little further on. But GM Patch Nasty, what are you doing this week?
Hi, GM Patch Nasty here. Schedule is still the same as it was. I might pick up Thursdays depending on what goes on Thursday nights now. Tomorrow is Retro Night. We are continuing the badge of No Mercy. I've already decided that I will be going after the Intercontinental Championship as myself because nobody wants me as the World Championship. I want to be the worker. And I think if there's time, I'm gonna make Thundercat and DD the tag team champions. We're gonna make a little, Thursday night. If I stream something, it's probably gonna be Batman because I haven't played it and I wanted to, and it's fucking good. Friday, we continue the Extra Life Dingers for dollars. I've been hitting home runs. Every time I hit a home run, I hit a button. Harry Carey says, "Holy cow!" and then fireworks, blah blah blah. More importantly, for every home run I hit, I'm going to be donating $1 to Extra Life. If you type it out there, ! Extra Life.
Yep.
You'll get the link. If we hit $500 in a little bit more time, the hair will be the color of your choice. If you are in the Discord watching us play games on Thursdays, we're getting there. It's starting to loot all colors, so it might be a blank canvas.
We need to get to that 500. We have less than a month.
Yep.
To get to that 500,
and then you guys get to pick the color. That's the important thing. And
$150.
Mm-hmm.
145, really.
On my stream, we're at 12. I've got a month left. If I want to get to 50, because then all you guys got to do is get to 100, and then boom, you guys get to pick my hair color going into October, which will be fun. Saturday is Superhero Saturday. We're playing Batman. And then Sunday, I've been debating it. I played Avengers when I first started streaming, and they've released Wakanda, and I watched the What If, and it kind of made me feel a little emotional because it was Chadwick Boseman's last performance. And I'm going to play the War for Wakanda on Sunday because it looks awesome. It's the same shit that they've been releasing, but it's superheroes, and it's Black Panther. So fuck yeah. Wakanda forever.
No, Fuzz Rabs, it's Extra Life. Exclamation Extra Life. Disto did it above you.
It's okay, Fuzz. You got them good drugs.
You did the other stuff. You're good.
Once again, Twitch TV/GM Patch Nasty.
So here's the deal. I am back as well. I am now streaming back on Thundercats 0420 on Twitch. I am going to try to start doing Sunday nights and one day during the week, probably tomorrow because I'm off tomorrow. It's probably going to be Wednesday from now on. So I'll be doing Sunday nights and Wednesdays on my stream on twitch.tv/Thundercat0420. Right now I'm playing Road 96 and I'm going to continue playing that. I figure I want to play some single player games, and why not do it on my stream and push the Extra Life over there as well. So
and the good thing is, if you want to make sure you can catch it and you miss it though, he did just do some things if you're subscribed to our YouTube.
Yes. So go check out our YouTube, exclamation links in the chat. Check out our YouTube. I just loaded up literally 4 minutes ago a brand new video, episode 1 of Road 96. I just edited it a little bit this afternoon, and it should be pretty good.
Thank you, Fuzzy.
I liked it, and I'll be doing the next episode, either editing it tomorrow and trying to put it up by the end of the week.
As a person who plays a lot of Telltale games, like watching you play this, I was like, yes, this is I like this. I like watching people play like movie type game. Watch Zombo Force, Caps Intentional. Damn right.
Thanks, Fuzzrub. He loves Fuzzrub. I loves Zombo Force. I love it.
The movie aspect, because you can sit there and watch the game as the streamer's watching the game. You guys kind of all react at the same time. It's one of those things that I enjoy doing on my stream, and I'm glad that you've picked up.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I used to do it. That was what my stream was all about when I first started streaming. I did all of the Grand Theft Auto 5 story. I started Red Dead Redemption 2.
I watched that.
I did Detroit Becoming Human. Like, I did a bunch of... That? Yeah, that was all you during the work week. You were working all day.
Oh yeah, that's right. Bollocks.
So yeah, when I that's what I like to do when I wasn't playing games with other people. I like single player games, so story mode stuff. It's nice, I think, for streaming. Cool. Yeah, so Sundays and Wednesdays right now. Possibly another night when we're not streaming. It could be late Wednesday
What
night.
time?
It could be Sunday nights. It'd be late, like 9:30, and then Wednesday during the day it might be around like 11 a.m. to like 5 p.m.
So you can catch Thundercat on his channel 11 to 11 a.m. ish
Yeah,
on
tomorrow.
Wednesdays,
Yeah.
and then Sundays in the evening, probably 8:30, 9 o'clock ish, maybe.
9 o'clock ish, probably.
Right. And then me on my streams, you can catch me weekdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then weekends right around 3:30 ish. I might go live sooner. Weekdays are typically 6:30.
5 more minutes. Don't forget we have Patreon. There is a bunch of new Patreon content that we put in there. Check us out. You can check us out at our Linktree/Dysfunctional Gaming has all of our links there. We will, yes, he will. We will be adding new stuff every time. There will be some new stuff joining as well when we start our new stuff coming at the end of September.
So stay
Cool.
tuned. Same dysfunctional time, same dysfunctional channel.
Where are we going tonight?
Well, I figured you could figure that out because I feel good.
Okay,
I'm
give me
feeling
1
real
second.
good.
We're
So,
going over to the ending screen. We're ready for you, Randy.
well, thanks for having me once again. I picked this up from these boys. One of them was the lead singer of Blur, but then they got all doodlified like the AHA peoples, and now they're an animated band. But they pick up a lot of rappers, so they're kind of good. I do like the bass riff. Let me know whenever I'm ready to start Shabba Baba Doopin. Did I break you by saying Shabba Baba Doopin?
Yeah, you did. I'm gonna bring us over to actually the guy that his son the one that got me into Road 96. We're gonna go right over to him.
Good.
His son.
Feel good. City's breaking down on the camel's back. They just have to go cause they don't know whack. So while you fill the streets, it's a pollen to see. You won't get out the country cause you're bad and free. You got a new horizon, it's ephemeral style. A melancholy town where we never smile. And all I wanna hear is the message beep. My dreams, they got a kissing cause I don't get sleep. No. Boo-doo-doo, boo-boo-doo. Windmill for the land. Take turn forever, hand in hand. Take it all in on your stride. It is ticking, falling down. Love forever, love is free. Turn forever, you and me. Windmill for the land. Is everybody in? Laughing Gatsies, hazmats, fast cats, line them up like ass cracks. Play these ponies at the track. It's my taco little tag. Shit, I'm tipping and hollering this here. Yeah. Can't bear trapping and hollering this here. Watch me as I grab a take.
Ha 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 ha.
We gonna ghost town, this Motown with Joe sound. You in the blink, go bite the dust, can't fight with us with your sound. You kill the ink, so don't stop. Get it until you cheddar head and watch the way I navigate.
Ha 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 ha.
Da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da. Da-da-ba-ba-ba. Feel good, do-do-boo-boo-boo-doo. Windmill for the land. Turn forever, hand in hand. Take it all in on your stride. It is ticking, falling down. Love forever, rate it out. Turn forever, you and me.